All right, let's go ahead and jump into our first subject of conversation. Let's go back and let's do a little bit of old school, man. Let's go ahead and start with college football this time again, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and first start with a little bit of college football. So EA college football. Let's go ahead and start there. So
Yeah.
when it comes to sports video games, Madden is king, basically, right?
Yep.
It's been around since '88. It's been since '93 since it's had its full NFL license with minimal changes for each game each year. Still the hottest sports release every single year. Well, in the world of NIL now that players can be paid, we are now in the second year of EA Sports CFP 26. And this is the first year, my friends, where the coach is going to be on the sidelines. So Whittingham is in EA Sports college football.
I was kind of surprised to hear that he opted in. I just don't see Coach Whit being that guy that's like, because I mean, Deion Sanders opted out.
Well, I don't think it's about opting out. I think it has to do with licensing. Like you're part of the when you're paid, I guess when you're in a private institution versus public, I think it's a little different, but I think it's more about like other licensing issues. Like he's probably already licensed, for
Oh,
his
right.
likeness with Madden, which is not is Madden an EA Sports product? I don't know.
No,
What the fuck?
I
I don't
don't
know.
think so.
Either way, but I think it is he is on there, but there are about 15, I believe, or 12 or 13 or something like that. That are holdouts, and I believe it's due to licensing issues. But yeah, man, I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's pretty cool that we have Coach Witt as the option here. Although, however, while I think it's really cool that he is ranked third overall in conference,
Hmm.
which is really cool. He's got the archetype of program builder versus talent development, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Program builder, I think, is a better fit. I think if you really think about it, he's good about building a program than he is necessarily
Yeah.
developing talent. I
Yeah.
don't know. What do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, he definitely, I mean, he's definitely built this program from, over the last couple of decades to be what it is. And I mean, he's kind of got his set, how he runs his program. You come here, you're going to play for you. These are the things you're going to do. These are how you're going to be. Um, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I did see that he was got an overall rating of 58, which is not in the top 10. I wasn't able to see anybody outside the top 10. Were you able to see like the full list? I wasn't able to find it.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, outside the list, it doesn't rank them all the way through, but it goes in and breaks down each conference.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got that part. He was ranked third in the conference, but
yeah,
overall,
yeah.
I didn't see
I
anything.
didn't see any other rankings outside of the top 10 for overall rating.
Yeah, other than diving into Reddit and that whole rabbit hole, which I'm more than happy to do. But I didn't really see anything that was really jumping out at me to where it was saying, hey, these are the rankings from top to bottom. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting, man. Thought it was cool to see. Love to see that he is going to be in the game, man. And it's going to be awesome that you're going to be able to pick your head coach for your team or actually have something to do with it. But I don't know. I think it's really cool. He's ranked so high in the Big 12. It's just more recognition to the program, and I'm absolutely for that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
All right, let's go ahead and move on over and talk a little bit about the wide receiver room, man. This is something we want to jump into. There's been a little bit of talk around that. We've actually had some comments in our channel. So first of all, thank you very much for jumping in and commenting on our Utah football DNA. As a reminder, folks, for those of you who don't know, we did launch a channel specifically for your Utes content called Utah Football DNA. It's a channel specifically for all your U content. So if you want to see your U content, all of it will be posted here first. So be sure to check it out. A link will be in the description down below. Again, subscribe to the channel if this is the type of content you're looking forward to seeing. With that said, we did do a video a while back on the wide receiver room. It's something we talked about coming into the spring, I believe, spring camp.
Yeah, we talked about a couple because we had a couple wide receivers that had transferred in. So we talked about a couple of guys coming in and
Yes, but there's been some updates. There's been some
yeah,
changes. So one of the biggest question marks coming into spring camp, I believe, like I said, we already talked about a little bit, was the wide receiver room. But we definitely think that there's an update warranted there. Of course, we need to start with the headset, right? There's a new man underneath the headset. Mike Simmons is the new wide receivers head coach.
yep,
He's going to be shaking things up a little bit. From last, we talked about this. We have two returning receivers from last year, and that's Dadrian
Zipperer.
Zipper.
Yep.
I was gonna go Zipper, but Zipper. Yeah. Anyway, 128 yards on 8 catches, right?
Yep.
And then we also have Luca Calderara, who has 26 yards on 2 catches. Those are 2 holdouts from last year.
Yep.
You got anything on those guys?
Yeah, I mean, Lucas Caldera, this is a big body guy, right? 6'4", 6'4". He is a redshirt senior. He transferred in from Cerritos College in California. So he's been with the program ever since he transferred in 21. Yeah, he hasn't had a great, regular season for a couple of years. But if you did watch the 22 Forever game, or the Forever 22 game, he made a couple of really nice catches. He moved into the open field really well. It looks like he could be a really nice, kind of big target to catch on that wide receiver side. So I'm, Dadrian Zipper, this guy has played in a couple of, actual regular season games, had some great catches, in the end of the end of last season. So he kind of started gaining some traction. And he's another guy to kind of be excited for. So yeah, I mean, as far as the 2 guys that are coming back, those 2 are really solid.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the development there from that. I mean, Dadrian, like you mentioned, has seen a little bit more time than Lucas, but I want to see some of that development on there. And, the only problem is they're going to be fighting for some time. There's been a lot of higher talent that's come in since then.
Yes.
And we talked about a little bit about this here when we talked about this at spring ball time, but Ryan Davis is coming over from Albuquerque with Dampier. They had 747 yards last year, 3 touchdowns on 54 catches.
Yeah.
For Ryan Davis there, making him probable for the number 1 choice there for QB1, but not only just for QB1, but also for the OC, Jason Beck, right? He already is going to be familiar with how he likes to run this offense. It's probably going to be somebody who's going to probably predominantly, unless something jumps at you or somebody just comes out gangbusters, probably going to be, your first option there for not only for the quarterback, but also for the offensive coordinator. What do you have on Ryan?
Well, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, obviously he's going to come in and be more familiar with the offense than anybody else, coming in. So you're kind of getting a fresh start, which is kind of a good thing to see because everybody, with the exception of him, is all kind of learning the offense together. I think the player that I probably like the most to be wide receiver 1 might be Larry Simmons, which is the 6'1" junior. He transferred to Southern Miss. This was a guy that started his career out at Ole Miss. He only played in 1 game as a backup in 2022. He didn't play any games in 2023. And I mean, I know the question here. Everyone's like, well, if he wasn't good enough to play at Ole Miss, he had to go to Southern Miss to get it. To finally get some playing time. Why are we thinking this guy's going to be good? I fact checked this a little bit. I'm like, why didn't he play at Ole Miss?
Okay.
The Ole Miss roster in 22 included Jonathan Mingo, which is now in the NFL for the Cowboys.
Right.
Malik Heath, who's now in the NFL for the Packers. Jordan Watkins, who is now in the NFL for the 49ers. All 3 of those guys were on the roster at Ole Miss in 22.
So what are you trying to say, AJ?
I'm trying to say this guy was stashed a little bit, behind some NFL talent there at Ole Miss.
You think?
they just continue to push wide receivers into the NFL. So
that's awesome.
The fact that he was recruited there, obviously he has a bunch of raw talent. He, at 6'1", he's got a ton of speed. I like this guy a lot to excel in this new offense. So
nice. One of my favorites I have looking on this one that I think it's going to be the transfer from Cal.
Yeah, Tobias Merriweather.
Just specifically because of that name, Tobias Merriweather. That just sounds like a University of Utah football player name.
It sure does.
It just sounds like with 11 receptions, 125 yards, and a touchdown. He's 6'5".
Yeah, big dude
that can run, and I definitely think he's going to be challenging for some targets. I think this camp.
I totally agree. I mean, this guy was a 4-star recruit out of high school. He was the number 79 player nationally out of high school, the number 11 wide receiver nationally when he came out of high school, and also the number 2 player out of the state of Washington. So he does have a ton of talent. He did kind of have a disappointing season at Cal where he only saw action in 5 games, only caught, like you said, 11 passes for 125. So he is going to be out there challenging because he's going to want to get as many catches as he can, right? Yeah, this guy's a junior already,
He's got the build.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's got the build to be talented at his position.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just he doesn't have enough runway or he just didn't show well in camp. I don't know, but I'm looking at this guy. He's got the build up. He's got the name. He's got the size. I think he's going to be a good pick.
Yeah.
To see some targets this year. I don't know, someone to look out for.
What do you think about Nate Johnson, listed as a wide receiver on Utah's database?
I saw that. how much do you think he's actually going to be used there?
So that's actually probably the best question you could have asked. I mean, that's really just a great runway, dude.
Yeah.
Because realistically, in the Forever 22 game, he set up out at wide receiver quite a bit, right?
Yep.
I mean, all the way out. And I think my biggest concern was he had a lot of balls hit him in the hands, and just couldn't come down with them, like balls that should have been clear receptions and run. I mean, we know the Nate Johnson story, right? The dude's a freak athlete. He's got elite speed. He's very crafty. I don't know how much wide receiver he'll actually play because they said it really early when he came back. He's going to be a Swiss Army knife kind of guy. I kind of see him setting up in the slot, maybe moving out. If you can get if you've got anybody that doesn't have 4.4 speed on the outside,
Right.
you're setting up Nate Johnson and just sending him out because he is that fast. And I think with this offseason, I do think he'll work a lot on his hands and making sure that he is more used to catching footballs and running down the way. So I do see Nate probably helping in a lot more ways than just the wide receiver room, but
Yeah.
he is, I mean, he is another great option for, you know, for
Jason Beck.
for Jason Beck in the offense to just, kind of have another option out there. So
No, I agree, man. I agree. And like I said, I just don't see his use being there predominantly. I know that's where he's going to be listed, at least for now.
yeah,
I think that might change coming out of fall camp, just saying, but I think that's probably where they want him. I don't think they're going to be putting him underneath in the quarterback room just because they don't want to. I think that's just going to be bad juju. Don't put him in there. You're just asking for it, right? Put in some sage and, do some stuff. Keep that room clean. But next to that, man, we also have Creed Whitmore. Was a transfer from Mississippi State, redshirt last year. And we also have Justin Stevenson, who is a transfer for Wyoming. This kid, 204 yards on 17 catches. I don't know what I get out of this kid. I think that maybe he looked good, but it might have just been inferior competition he's playing with a lot. But
yeah, I mean, Wyoming had some tough games last year. You know what I mean? Like the Mountain West Conference last year wasn't as weak as it had been in previous years, so they had some pretty good competition all the way through that season. He was kind of one of their go-to receivers. Like you said, he played in all 12 games. This guy, he's really quick, has great hands catching the football. I mean, he's a legitimate wide receiver, right? You're not going to have a Nate Johnson issue where you hit this guy in the hands and it falls out. Great hands. I watched a little bit of tape on him. He has the ability to run and create yards after the catch. I like Justin Stevenson a lot. I'm curious to see how he's going to be listed on that depth chart.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, man. I don't know. I think we pretty much have a good idea of where it's going to start with. I think you and I've hit it earlier in this video, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I really want to see where this depth chart shakes out in fall camp and probably more to come. We'll probably see some
definitely more to come. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. As a reminder, folks, we did just start a channel specifically for your University of Utah football called Utah Football DNA. All of our Utah football content will be posted here first. So if you have not yet, jump into the description if you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, or catch us on our live stream. The link to that channel will be in the description down below. So be sure to check it out.